Today we're near my home in 𝗛𝗟𝗥, British Columbia. It's where the Fraser River widens on its final approach to the ocean. We're about to hop on a jet boat and race upstream through this ancient river valley and go fishing for dinosaurs. We've got everything we need: salmon heads, fish bellies, roe. It's all laid out behind the boat on the river floor like a sturgeon buffet. The white sturgeon has been swimming in these waters for over 200 million years, almost unchanged since the days of the dinosaurs. Most of the time, we just wait. Sturgeon fishing starts with stillness, the calm before the storm. A giant sturgeon will dump line off a reel as fast as anything you've ever seen. They're a massive prehistoric relic that feeds on the bottom all through the lower channels of the Fraser River and many other great rivers around the world. Here in BC, a guide is the best way to go out on the river to find them. And since there are tens of thousands of these fish in the river system, and they're big enough to be spotted on sonar, on a good day, your arms will be sore by lunchtime. This is a small one, measuring about 4 feet in length. But these fish get big, 9 feet, 10 feet, some even hit 11. When you're holding onto a rod with one of these fish at the other end, it can feel like it's going to pull you right out of the boat.
There we go. Yeah, you just let the rod
in BC, the government and professional guides cooperate in a sophisticated tracking and data gathering system and a strict catch and release only policy. More about that in a minute. These are the largest freshwater species in North America, so people from all over this continent and around the world come here to fish for them. The local fish guiding industry in this area relies on these fish to support their businesses, since the other famous resident in these waters, Pacific salmon, only show up once a year and are typically off limits for fishing in this river due to conservation efforts. Sturgeon, on the other hand, reside in this river year-round, and these white sturgeon can really put on a show. Just imagine an 8-foot-long fish jumping right out of the water at the end of your line. It's like fighting a freight train, and it's a huge amount of fun. And right on cue, an actual freight train blasts past us on the riverside. When a large sturgeon decides it wants to run, there's really no stopping it. The guide maneuvers the boat around, chasing down the fish so the client doesn't get spooled. The hooks we're using are barbless, meaning that tension on that line is important, or the hook might just slip right out. And even though we still have a big advantage with the boat and the current and the person at the end of the rod, I think the barbless hook evens out the fight a little bit. It's pretty common for hooks to just fall out when a sturgeon gets airborne. That's the other thing, they're shockingly acrobatic for their size. Leaping, thrashing, twisting.
Good action, yeah?
But for all their power, sturgeon are really docile toward humans during these unique interactions ashore. These sturgeon are treated with the utmost respect by fishermen here. Fish over a certain size are never lifted into the boat. Firstly, it's about conservation and minimizing harm to the fish. Secondly, you can't pick up the big ones, they're just too big. So the big ones are brought to shore if necessary and cradled gently in the water for a photo with a living dinosaur, and then released back to the river. These fish have been here longer than humanity, longer than most species on Earth, and every one of them has to be returned to the river, alive and unharmed. We rip down the river some more, searching for a bigger fish. It's a massive river system, and our guide has marked all the best spots on GPS. Today our bait consists of fresh salmon heads caught in a nearby tributary, salmon roe, and salmon bellies. They're attached to these big barbless hooks with a lead weight partway up the line, and when the line is cast, the weight sinks to the bottom, and the bait sits suspended just above, sending its scent drifting downriver. Sturgeon have whisker-like barbels near their mouth that they use to sense food. They're bottom feeders, living on or near the bottom of the river, just vacuuming up whatever food comes their way. We run 4 rods out the back, trying different baits on each, dropping more and more scent into the river, hoping to increase our chances of hooking a huge one.
Set. Imagine why. Okay, hold them, don't reel in anymore.
When a fish is ready to be landed, this large plastic cradle is laid out beside the boat so the fish can be unhooked and recorded safely, and with as little hands-on contact as needed, while being kept in the water so it can breathe. Each fish is measured precisely from tip to tail, and also its circumference is measured behind the pectoral fins. Each guide carries with them a digital scanning device they use to check for a digital tracking tag that's part of the conservation system. If a fish is tagged already, the reader will show when and where it was last caught and how big it was then. And if a fish doesn't have a tag, the guide will insert one so the fish can be tracked in the future. For 200 million years, these fish have been in these waters. They've been integral to indigenous cultures for thousands of years as a source of traditional food, a subject of art, and an animal of spiritual significance. The sturgeon fishery here supported early European settlers in the late 1800s, but collapsed due to overharvesting. In 2003, the government gave Fraser River white sturgeon formal conservation status, listing them as threatened. And previously, in 1994, the commercial fishery for sturgeon was shut down, and today only catch and release angling is permitted. These fish pull harder than anything you've ever felt. You don't control a fish like this. You just hang on and hope you're up for the fight. It's not hard to imagine yourself thousands of years in the past when you're out here alone, surrounded by rugged mountainsides, fighting a prehistoric beast. It's a really unique experience, and it's why such a massive effort is made to ensure these giants remain here for many more generations. For most people, this is a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, a chance to reach into the past, hold on to it briefly, before releasing it back into the depths of the river. Out here on the Fraser, dinosaurs are still alive, and if you're lucky, you just might catch one.
Nobody else? Give a little kiss? Come on, buddy. Nobody? Put it in here?
Yeah.